The agony and the ecstasy that is fantasy football. 6 teams notched key victories this week, while 6 teams ended up on the short end of the stick. We had upsets, we had statement victories, we had a matchup decided by one play. This week sets the stage for the final 4 games of the season and a dynamic playoff picture. Anything is still possible. Lots of things are going to happen. Crazy week. Week 10, we asked and you delivered. We're going to break it all down here on Fantasy Talk. Let's go. Like I said, truly epic week. Monstrous performances from multiple players. Some unexpected results. Changes in the playoff picture. So glad I got to be a part of it. So glad I didn't go to Bush's. And we're going to break it all down right now, starting with Dwayne and Matt. This was a resounding victory for Matt and sees him improve to 6-4. And Kyler Murray proves yet again what a vital piece he is to Matt's success. For Matt, Kyler Murray does well, Matt does well, and that's been happening a lot this season. And ultimately, Matt, that's why you're sitting in third place. So congratulations to you. Dwayne left points to be had on the bench, especially in Lamar Jackson, the 2019 MVP of the NFL. And this could have ultimately made the difference for him alongside other key sits that he had on his bench. Dwayne, where has your player management been all season, dude? You got a decent team, but you're 3-7, and now you're the basement of the league, sitting in 12th place. Next matchup was Eric and Sam. This was a tight one, and Sam prevails, where she was able to eke out her third win of the season. Sam greatly benefited from the return of Nick Chubb, who came off of the IR list for the Browns, as well as a dominant performance from Lions running back DeAndre Swift, who carried the Lions to a win against the Washington football team. And that name still just doesn't sit right in here at all. I mean, football team, I know Redskins, that's derogatory, but come up with a better name. But also, when was the last time a Lions running back made like fantasy headlines like this? Pretty incredible, and maybe DeAndre Swift is the identity running back that Lions fans have been seeking for over 2 decades now since the departure of Barry Sanders. For Eric, this matchup showed us all yet again how pivotal Christian McCaffrey's presence can be for Eric when he's healthy. Eric, you're sitting at 4-6. You need McCaffrey to come back. You need some stability and some reliability if you're going to make a push for these playoffs. It can be done, but that's the thing. It's all going to depend on McCaffrey. And last time I checked, I think he is questionable to play this week. So we'll keep our eyes on that. Next matchup, we had Alex and Spencer delivers the upset in stylish form with a 3-touchdown performance behind number 1 fantasy running back Alvin Kamara. He also had impressive performances behind hometown hero Matthew Stafford and his 2 starting wide receivers, Deontay Johnson and DJ Moore. All of those performances were just too much for Alex, and it sealed his fate. Plus, for Spencer, how can we forget about Prater's huge 16-point game? Spencer, you end up with 136 points, and you are the fantasy coach of the week. Alex, you had Brady. He got you 35 points, but it didn't matter for you. GOAT or no GOAT, you're on the short end of the stick this week, and Spencer jumps into the playoff picture, and Alex falls. All right, moving on. We had Jamie and Spencer Pianga. Jamie gets to 5-5 behind a 4th consecutive victory. For Spencer, modest performances from Teddy Bridgewater and Mike Davis keep him from achieving a better result, although rookie T. Higgins doled out a 22-point game to provide some hope for the struggling Pianga. For Jamie, Josh Jacobs and Stephon Diggs prove their merit as fantasy studs as she's able to get to 500 for the season, as well as a gratuitous touchdown from fan favorite Rob Gronkowski. This string of victories for Jamie should strike fear into the eyes of her next 4 opponents. She has once again proven that she is a force to be reckoned with Watch out, Trevor. She's coming for you. Speaking of Trevor, we had myself and the oldest Pianga son. Everybody, there's a new sheriff in town. That's right. I'm number one. On a week that came down to wide receiver Adam Thielen of the Minnesota Vikings, as well as Mahomes and Kelsey on a bye week, I was able to demonstrate how effective it is to have waiver wire resourcefulness. And ultimately, I started 6 players that I didn't draft. So, I don't have much more to say than, I did what I had to do, and I did it, and now I'm number one. Also, this completes the coveted Pianga trifecta and vaults me to the top. For Trevor, it was ultimately the Saints defense and Bills kicker Tyler Bass that helped keep things close, but Thielen got the job done. Early touchdown in the first quarter made an easy night for me. Lastly, we had our game of the week, Ben versus Mike. This came down to wide receiver Allen Robinson for Mike and running back Dalvin Cook for Ben. Dalvin Cook this whole season has been doing great, but ultimately this game wasn't decided by either player. It ended up being DeAndre Hopkins of the Arizona Cardinals catching a 50-yard Hail Mary with 1 second left to give Ben a 12-point play, which makes the swing in the result of this game. Without that 12-point play from Hopkins, Ben doesn't win, and Mike is still sitting in the number one spot of the league. Now you got Mike at 7-3, Ben at 6-4, Matt 6-4, me 8-2. Only 4 teams above 500, which really just sort of demonstrates the grit and the toughness of this fantasy league. Playoff picture is still wide open, and here it sits right now. Your 6 teams in the playoffs are Nick, myself, Matt, Mike. Mike's above Matt, so it goes myself, and then Mike, and then Matt, and then Ben, and then Spencer, and then Jamie is back in that playoff picture. She seals the last spot at the end of week 10, and Alex is at the top of the consolation ladder as of right now. There's only 4 games left, guys. So at this point, a win or a loss is as crucial as it's ever been, and they will only get more crucial as the season progresses. That's all I really have to say for this matchup episode. It was epic. I can't keep the smile off my face sitting at number one. Matt, I know you're coming after me, so we'll see what your team can do. Same from Ben. We only have 1 more week left until we're back to all divisional opponents for the final 3. Last thing I want to say is that it is Tuesday night, which means we're only 2 nights away from the Thursday Week 11 preview episode, and I still need a guest appearance, so somebody please volunteer before one of you gets voluntold. And if you would like to volunteer, please send me a message in Snapchat or text me. Anybody's welcome to be the guest. It's always a good time, and we want to deliver some good entertainment for all of you. With that, I'm just going to leave you guys with good luck, and we'll see you on Thursday.